This video that I'm making right now isn't meant to be funny in any way. It's not one of those that should be laughed at all. It's actually quite a serious topic that's been going around. And it's police brutality that's the subject of this video here. Because it's something that's been going on a lot recently, and I'm not too sure that it's my huge place to talk about it. Because, I'm 14. But I really don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. Basically, police brutality has been a major thing in the news lately, and it's something that kind of caught my attention. I was watching and watching YouTube today about some of the things that have gone on, and I was reading some stories from Google about it, and what I found kind of shocked me. It kind of put in my mind a perspective that cops aren't doing their job. And I've known that. I've heard people talk about it. I get it. But it's not, some of the things that they've done have not been justified in any way, shape, or form. And, that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the police abusing their power because it's not right. One of the examples of it is Eric Gardner. He was a 400-pound man with asthma from Staten Island, New York City. He was standing outside of a smoke shop. I think that's what I read. And a fight broke out. This man, he tried to break it up. And then, I'm not crying. I'm not. Then police showed up, NYPD, and they asked him what had been going on. And they accused him of things unrelated to the subject, like selling illegal things, all these things, and then they accused him of getting into the fight and injuring him. He didn't. He broke up the fight that was going on outside of the smoke shop. Eric Gardner, he got into an argument with one of the NYPD police officers, and he tried to explain his side of the story. The cops didn't believe him, and they wanted to take him to jail to talk to him, to interrogate him basically about what had happened. And he wouldn't go. He refused. Doing this, the cops decided that they would restrain him. A big 400-pound man. They had 7 NYPD police officers trying to restrain the man. One of them jumped on the guy's back. Eric Gardner, he had asthma. The cops used a method of choking that cuts off the air supply to your head, so you cannot breathe. Now, with asthma, you really can't breathe that well anyway, and then after that happened, he told police officers several times that he couldn't breathe, that he wasn't getting anything, he couldn't breathe at all. And the cops didn't let up. They killed him. They choked him to death on the side of a street in Staten Island, New York City. The man was unarmed, and he did not start a fight with the police officer. All it was an argument, and he refused to go to jail. Basically, killing a man because of that is not justified. I'm sorry, but it's not. Now we move on to a different one. An 18-year-old boy, in the name of Michael Brown. Michael Brown, walking down the street. Now there are several stories about what actually happened, and I'll be honest, I don't know the full story. I watched an hour-long program on CNN talking about it. People from CNN brought in Michael Brown's parents and asked them to talk about what had happened. They also interviewed the police officer. Brian Williams interviewed the police officer that shot this man. And the police officer accused him of having a weapon. And then he contradicted himself, saying that he was beating on the police car with his fists and threatening to kill the police officer. But going to the crime scene, there was no gun. He was unarmed. Michael Brown was shot in the head by this police officer. He was shot dead. 18-year-old. And, yeah. They shot an unarmed 18-year-old boy for no good reason that they actually had. And that's not right. If the man was unarmed and he was not doing anything to harm the police officer, getting into a fist fight with him, they have a taser for a reason. If it was really that important, you could have tased the kid. You didn't have to shoot him. You didn't have to shoot him dead. But did you? Yes. One of the things that seriously bothers me about this topic is that the police get nothing. They do not get prison sentences. They don't get life in prison. But if normal civilians, they kill police officers, they get 25 to life. They get life in prison, possibility without parole, whatever. But the cops, they get suspended. Going back to Eric Gardner, the man who choked him was suspended from the force. But he still was given all of the money. He was relieved with pay, and he still got all the benefits for being in the force after he had killed a man. Whereas if it was us, we would be thrown in jail immediately and for a very long time. Michael Brown's story is one of those that you can't help but think about all the different possibilities. What if he did have a gun? If the policeman was in the police car and Michael Brown was beating on the side of it, whatever, and threatening to do something, he would have done it. But I don't think that's justified that you shoot a kid in the head. It's not justified at all. Moving on from that one. There's a 12-year-old boy. He's walking through a park. They got reports. Somebody called the police for gunshots that they heard. And this little boy, this 12-year-old boy, he was walking through the park, and police stopped him and asked him what was going on, and they asked him to put his hands in the air. He put his hands, but he lifted up his shirt. And under his shirt, there showed a gun. The boy was shot twice, immediately. After lifting up his shirt, the cop shot him once in the stomach, and we're not sure if it was unclear if the second shot hit him. But it wasn't a real gun. It was a BB gun. It was a BB gun that looked like a real gun. After the incident, interviewers interviewed the chief officer for that police station, whatever you want to call it, the head person, whatever. You get my point. There was no conflict the 12-year-old boy that was shot, did not raise his gun to the police officers. He did not threaten to do it. All he did was lift up his shirt and he was shot. Now, I get it. You can say what you want. He had a gun on him. And is that justified for shooting a kid? Not. If he was threatening the cops, maybe. But it wasn't a real gun. It was a BB gun. And there was nothing. He didn't threaten them. The kid that was shot was taken to primary hospital, where he was in critical condition for 2 days and then he died. His parents, his mom, single mom, found out about it quite a bit later, after maybe not seeing her kid for about 6 hours, and then figured out that he had been shot by a police officer. I'm going to stop for a second and say that I do believe that cops, they do their best to keep authority in this way messed up place that we're living in right now. They do try to keep order, but they abuse their badge. They do. Not saying it's all cops, because I know some really good cops that I've known for a while, and they're really good people. But in some cases, their authority gets in the way of their job. They think that they can do whatever they want. They think that they can walk around and kill people and not get any type of punishment for it. And in that case, they are right. They do not get punished like they should. They get suspended, like I said before. And it's not right, because the purpose of law enforcement is to protect us. And instead of protecting us, they're making it so that we are dead afraid of them. We're afraid that if we walk down the street and we see one of them, we're going to get shot. It's a real fear. It's a real fear that you're just going to be shot unarmed by a police officer that had no right to even pull a gun on you in the first place. That's what bothers me. The last story is quite a different one. I don't know how to say this one without kind of just saying it. A woman lived in an apartment in Florida, condo in Florida, excuse me. She called the police after somebody threw a brick through her window. She called the police to figure out what the heck was going on. When the police showed up, she was in the elevator coming down to see the police, tell them what had happened. And while she was going to see them in the elevator, when the elevator stopped, the police came in at gunpoint, pointed a gun at her, and sexually assaulted her. I'll say that, because that's what happened. She called the police for help, and that's what she got. Now, in some cases, I would say that's more wrong than what they did to Eric Gardner. That's wrong. That's terrible. It's just another thing that I said. We call you for help, and we don't. We get the complete opposite of that. when I was, well, I still kind of do, but a lot of kids, when they were younger, they always dreamed about being police officers and firemen and doctors. The only one that's changed is police officers because we learn to live in fear of them. And we shouldn't, because those people, they have the authority to protect us, and they do the complete opposite of that. I realize this video's been going for 15 minutes, but I wanted to make my point. And the point is that if law enforcement keeps going the way it is, then the American government is going to have some serious problems on their hands from riots that have already been going on. Police brutality riots that end up in civilians being shot. I don't want to go as far as to say that, well, I will go as far as to say that America has been the United States of America. Everything that we believed is now just going. It's not there anymore. It's, everything has changed, and not for the better. I was reading some of the comment sections on the kid, the 12-year-old boy that was shot, and some of the people said that the police officer was justified in what he did. And I do believe in some cases that he was right. I do believe that he did what he... I don't believe in what he did. I don't believe that shooting him was justified. Especially after he didn't do anything to even initiate that. But, yeah, if you really want us to not live in fear of the police officers that are made to protect us, then you gotta do something. You have to increase the punishments for them. You have to take their badge away. You have to send them to jail. You have to show them that you cannot walk around and kill innocent people. Unarmed innocent people. You can't do that. That's this. Why is it if we do it, we get prison? If you do it, you get suspension. I want to know who thinks that's fair. Because I sure don't. I don't believe that at all. You cops need to get your... Yeah. You need to figure out what the heck you're doing and put a stop to it, or else things are going to get really bad really quick. And that's what I had to say. I've ranted about this for 18 minutes and 30 seconds. And yeah, I'm done. I've said what I needed to say. All you people that still want to be police officers, and even that are, I applaud some of you for the work you're doing, but some of you guys need to figure out what the actual definition of being law enforcement is, because it's sure as heck not shooting innocent people. I'm sorry, but it's not. And yeah. If you guys do agree, then let me know. If you got more stories, let me know, because, yeah, quite a touchy topic it is. Kind of a sad topic to know that over 1,000 people were shot by police just in 2014 alone. More than that. So yeah. Bye guys.